Hello, everyone, and welcome to Forward and Back again. What are you two doing?
Nothing.
What's happening here?
Hanging out.
What's going on over here already?
I adopted this sprout. We're hanging out.
Jesus. I can't believe we're doing this. This is season 2 of Forward and Back again. It's now a co-story or a coat-tale. Or a coat tale, depending on how you really look at it. At the end of the day, right, Jesse? Right? You're the Jesse, Andy Richter. You gotta laugh. That's your job.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta sit in my seat, my Andy Richter seat. Mm-hmm. Oh, you tell them jokes good, boss.
Yes, thank you, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate that. Cohh is playing through Final Fantasy because of a charity goal that he crossed. Or didn't cross. It's a long story. You can go visit Cohh's Twitter for that full story. Regardless, he's here. That's it. That's him agreeing. What are you wearing on your head? Why don't you turn that off? What are you doing? Do you like your horn?
Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you.
Are you a fan of the horn?
That thing.
Oh, God.
You're like Adam Jensen over there. That's amazing.
It's a lot going. There you go. Now we can see you. Let's talk a little bit about your history with the game. Also, shout out to everyone from the COT and COHH FCs for joining us here. Also for this announcement from the Hunt train that I just got notified on, because this is a brand new PC and notifications haven't been turned off yet. What's your experience with Final Fantasy XIV, Cohh?
Wait, time out. Time out, real quick.
What?
Are all three of us on brand new PCs as of today? Is this happening?
It's happening.
It's happening. Well, not as of today. I just haven't turned.
Did we plan this?
It's been like a week for me.
This is my dry run of Final Fantasy on this machine, and so far it is quite better than sex. Yes.
Ooh.
Well, hold on. Yeah, I wasn't involved in either of those things. Wink.
Jesus. Andy Richter, you got to stick to the script. Andy. I mean, Jesse.
Oh, sure thing, boss. Sure. You got the funny jokes, buddy.
There we go. Thank you. Appreciate that. Cohh, what's your experience with Final Fantasy XIV? I know you've told this. You've probably got this very clear and concise because you've said it a billion times on your own channel.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can probably just pull up one of those highlights.
All right, roll the tape. Jesse, you prepared all these, right? We're good? Okay. You're also producer?
Here we go.
Nope.
Here we go.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Andy, pull up the
Pardon?
He doesn't have it.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, I got this. I'll reenact it. So, long ago, the Warrior of Light did a thing, and it was pretty awesome. And then a guy and his girlfriend daughter tried to stop him, but they couldn't. The end.
What story were you trying to tell?
Yeah, what was that?
Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the plot.
Cohh, what
were you playing?
Okay, anyway. So here is how it all
Hopefully
started.
that wasn't a spoiler. You've beaten 2.0, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I'm on 2.4 right now.
Yeah, we're 2.4.
Yeah.
Also, let's just before Cohh begins, eventually this will start. We will be discussing everything up until 2.4, but nothing past that. That is kind of the structure of this show, is basically to recap everything that Cohh has played, talk to him about it thus far, get his thoughts, get predictions, and then send him on his merry way. Also, if you guys want to join the A train, you can head over to Siren right now, as there is an A train starting. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Cohh, please, your history with Final Fantasy.
As a quick reminder, this is a realm reborn, not a realm remade. We have not seen Sephiroth yet at this point.
True. Yeah. Very true.
That's the next one.
That you know of.
Oh, okay. So here we go. So little bit of Cohh lore here.
Uh-huh.
I actually got my sub button playing Final Fantasy XIV on Twitch.
Yo!
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it is the game that got me partnership on Twitch. And this is when it very first came out. Basically, what happened is I had applied for partnership 3 times and been denied 3 times. This was back when you had to work to become a partner. Like, you had to have 350 average viewers, and they were extremely strict with the numbers. So it was tough. And even when I had the numbers and applied, they actually denied me because I didn't have them for long enough, which was kind of fun. So anyway, what kind of happened is when Final Fantasy 14 A Realm Reborn came out, it had a lot of hype behind it. I'd played some MMOs until then, and up until that point, really enjoyed them, and I was very excited for 14. So what happened is I was planning to play it. There was a 3-day head start, I think it was, where you could pre-order the game and get it a few days early, kind of standard these days. So I had been announcing this for a long time. I'm super excited. Like the night before this is going to happen, basically Square Enix puts out this thing. And they're like, okay, here's the deal. You can stream Final Fantasy 14 when it comes out.
Right.
On release day. But unless you're on our approved list, you cannot stream Final Fantasy for the 3-day pre-start. So I was sitting here like, are you kidding? Because like I was planning on starting as fast as I could, going as hard as I could. So what happened is for the first 3 days of Final Fantasy 14 A Realm Reborn, if you would go to my Twitch channel, which was frequently near the top of the directory, you would see a giant picture of my face playing the game with no gameplay on the screen. And I was just sitting there playing the head start while people literally watched me play the head start without seeing anything that was on the screen.
Yep.
It was a talk show. And it's the only time I've ever done that. And it was awkward. It was weird. And weirdly enough, it actually did pretty well for some reason.
It's that controversy, right?
Yeah, it was very strange.
The drama view.
Like, I had on the screen like why I was doing it, and I was constantly talking about what happened. And then, of course, on day I think number 2, this website that had access reached out to me, and they were like, "Hey, you can stream under us." And I was like, "Awesome!" So I take the stream down and I put the gameplay up, and I'm like, "This is great." And then like 10 minutes later, a Square Enix person contacts me, and they're like, "You can't do that. Turn that off." And I was like, "Oh, come on." So then I went back to the talk show and kept doing the thing.
Right.
But sure enough, the first 2 weeks were really good. We had an FC. I played a Dragoon to start with, and honestly, I really, really enjoyed it. I played nothing but Final Fantasy 14 for a good while. I basically cleared out all the content I could on release. I had multiple relics, multiple classes at max level. We had a raid doing Coil of Bahamut, and when Coil of Bahamut came out, it was tough. I mean, just getting a group that could clear like the early turns was a chore, and even people that knew what they were doing at the beginning were having trouble getting them on farm status. So I did that for a while, but I just kind of ran out of things to do, and it was that kind of thing where I really didn't like. I think a lot of MMO players can probably relate to me here. I was doing that thing where I really just wanted to play the game, but there was nothing to do. So I kept logging in, even though I wasn't really enjoying it. And I did that for like 2 weeks. And it gets to that point where you're just like running in circles in the game, jumping, kind of like because you don't want to stop playing. But at the same time, you don't really have anything to do. So it got to the point when I realized like this is no longer fun to watch. Like I'm not having a great time. So I kind of got to move on. And at that point, the fire kind of died for me a little bit. And I work in one important way. Whenever I play an MMO, it's like a fire starts in me, and it's the kind of thing where it's the only game I want to play. I have trouble playing other games. I go to bed thinking about it. I wake up wanting to play it. Like for me, it's a switch. MMOs are a switch. I'm either playing it and really going hard, or I am not playing it. And that's how it's pretty much been like my whole life. So when I was done with Final Fantasy 14, I was convinced I was done with Final Fantasy 14. And, years went by on Twitch, and, the expansions came out, and Heavensward came out, and people were like, "Oh man, Cohh, you really need to return to 14." And I do my whole spiel like, "Oh no, when the fire goes out, the fire goes out. It's just ashes in the wind, man." And they'd be like, "Yeah, whatever. It's really cool. You should return. Just shut up and play it." And I was like, "No." And that happened for Heavensward, and it happened for Stormblood. And then finally, by the time Shadowbringers comes around, at this point, people are saying like, "Yeah, this is like one of the best games I've ever played." And I'm like, "That's great." And at this point, like, the longing starts where it's like, man, I'd actually love to do that, but I just know how I work. Like I know it's not going to work. I know I'm going to try to play it and I'm just going to get probably disenfranchised or bored or start playing something else. Like I wanted to play it, but I knew it wouldn't really work for me. So at that point, I realized I needed an impetus. I needed goals. I needed something outside of just, hey, try the game while there's other stuff going on. So kind of like what Final Fantasy is going through right now with this like perfect storm. That's kind of what happened to me at the beginning of this whole adventure I'm on now. So there was the charity goal where I made it as a complete joke pie in the sky goal. And even though due to a whole bunch of weird stuff, it didn't actually happen, I did pledge to do it. So at that point, I'd pledged to play the game. I'd pledged to get through the main story. And when I first started, I was like, look, I'm going to do it at my own pace. I have no idea if I'm going to like it. I promise to get through it, but I'm probably not going to really, I'm probably not going to enjoy it, but I'm going to do it. So I started it up, and thankfully the other part of this perfect storm is that there's really not much else going on right now. We're in the desert portion of the year for new releases. There's not a lot of hype stuff going on right now. There's not a lot of other things I really want to do. So I started it up and I just kind of figured like, I'll get as much done as I can in this kind of weird dead zone. And sure enough,
you got bit.
I got bit. That is what it comes down to. We started the FC. It was completely full in a few days. It's been like the amount of active, awesome people in it has just been mind-blowing. The community as a whole in Final Fantasy XIV has been insanely welcoming. It's been one of the most like pleasant communities I've ever been welcomed into. I had people from other servers just being like, "Hey, thanks for playing." Like here, send it to. I've had so many people offer me stuff, but I'm doing an SSF playthrough. I'm not accepting any handouts, but I've had so many people offer to like give me cool pets and gil and all sorts of stuff, which has been super nice.
You hear that, Jesse?
We're all on the same server, right? Like you can send them to me. I will take all of it.
But it's just been awesome. It's crazy because I started on my own thing and my own time and everything. And I had people following me around especially at the beginning, but it was never an issue. Like no one ever like got in my way, or they would just show off their mounts and then go off and do their own thing. Like I've never had to tell anyone to stop following me or anything like that. It's been a very kind of like respectful, chill, fun experience. And that's only made everything else better. I've Samurai, the class I'm playing. I'm really enjoying that. Fishing has been awesome. It's been really relaxing to do that in the cozy streams. And there's just, and not only that, but the story has been pretty great. I've actually enjoyed the post 2.0 content more than the pre 2.0 content. So, I just did Shiva today. That was awesome. Mm-hmm. It's like right at the end of the fight, there's that big like hook where it's like, why did she say those 3 words? And, it's been really, really cool. And the part that kind of keeps me going and has actually really gotten me excited is the fact that I haven't even gotten to the stuff that people have told me is the good stuff yet.
Sure.
Like, I'm having a great time. I'm loving the run, and I haven't even gotten to like the main course yet. I'm still in the appetizer.
Right.
So yeah, it's been pretty great.
I think one of the things that you definitely did right, that I think Jesse can also speak to after he's been playing for about a year now, coming up on a year, I guess, with COT, with RFC, is like, it definitely helps when you're playing this game with other people, right? Like, who knew that an MMO with other people is going to make it more fun? But
crazy, right?
It definitely actually, like, it makes this game, right? I think if me and Jesse both didn't have COT, and I think if you didn't have your FC with Cohh, like, you wouldn't have been enjoying it as much as you have been, without a question.
There's absolutely no question.
Yeah.
Absolutely no question. Just from seeing everyone like greet each other when they get on, to like the welcoming, to like, dude, I kid you not, in almost every case, and this even happened in Crystal Tower, I would get up to a point where like it'd be like, oh, okay, I'm playing the thing, I'm doing it at my own pace, nothing special, and then right when I get up to the point where it's a raid, someone would be like, okay, send Cohh an invite, guys. Yeah. And I get an invite, and there'd be like a 24-man raid just ready to go.
Yeah.
Like completely ready. And that's happened for the hard modes, it's happened for the raids. It's been incredible.
Yeah.
So it makes the whole playthrough feel like it's a community playthrough. It feels a lot less like me actually playing through the game. It feels a lot more like this whole team kind of working through the content. and it's awesome. And what's also been great is because I'm doing kind of like all of the content, we've had a huge amount of people that don't even play the game that are just following along for the story, and it's become like almost this giant single player RPG style viewing experience where there's people in the chat that don't even play, and they're just like, yeah, I'm just watching for the story. Like, because I do all when I'm doing the day streams, I pretty much just do main story. So it's like watching a Witcher or a Mass Effect or something. Like it's just constant main story back to back, and it's been wild. Not only that, just as a small side note, I'm baffled by the viewership. Like the viewership has been really good.
Right.
I think a big part of that is the fact that Asmongold and a lot of people have been exposing the game to eyes that may have not seen it before, or more importantly, had probably heard of it but not really dived in and actually seen what it is, and then they see other people enjoying it and they're like, oh, I gotta check this out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been really, really cool kind of seeing that all transpire.
I think it's one of the things that, and I've streaming in the Final Fantasy directory as long as I have, and I watched Jesse go through this as well over the past year. I think most people that stream the Final Fantasy directory have already played the story, so they're doing the same thing that everyone else that's already playing the game is doing, and that's sitting in an FC house or grinding whatever the end game grind is. It's not doing the story for the first time. And
Yes.
so like when Jesse went through it for the first time, his viewership was crazy. It was top of the directory at the time, with like 3,000 or 4,000 on a lot of the like big patches or big content. And I think you'll see that as well on your channel. And I think we've seen that on all the other channels that are playing it for the first time as well. People love seeing others experiencing something that they've already experienced for the first time and like genuinely being excited about it.
Absolutely. It's a Dark Souls kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like you're 100% right on that, which has been very pleasantly surprising. I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be kind of like standard long-term like MMO style viewership where you get like a little spike at the beginning and then it's just the slow decline. But it's been not only consistent, but it actually bounces around. Like one day it'll be like X, and the next day it's like X plus 1, and then it's X minus 1, and then X plus 1 again, and it's like it's an actual wave instead of like a downward spiral like it is
Right.
for a lot of things like this. It's very cool. But no, I have no doubt that as soon as I'm done with the main story stuff, it'll be probably. But at that point, I'll probably move it to like a casual thing.
Right.
As finally all the other games I've been missing, I start playing again. But then what's even cooler is we have like Endwalker at the end of the year, and that's going to be huge from the looks of it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to tune in for that kind of stuff. So it's going to be wild.
It's a little weird having streamed it now through 3 Final Fantasy expansions. It's actually the inverse, right? Because no one wants to watch someone else do the story because they want to do the story first.
Right.
point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be really interesting to see what the directory looks like in November and mid-November. It's also happening right at Thanksgiving. So it'll probably be like peak viewership in a lot of ways on Twitch, or peak
I already have a
potential
plan.
viewership. Jesse's got a plan.
Yeah, I'm leveling during that time. Y'all can do the story. When y'all done with the story, come back to me, baby.
There you go.
I'll finally start the story like 3-4 weeks later.
There you go. I think, I
Let's
mean,
go the whole 9 yards and just call it Jesse Reacts. That's the only 2 words in your title. Jesse Reacts.
Yeah.
I want to. It's fascinating to see, and this is something you'll notice as time goes on. And I think when you talk about the wave of people watching you, because myself and JP and everyone involved in sort of the fandom of Final Fantasy XIV knows what's about to happen and knows, when you say you're on 2.4, all of us in our brains like, bing, like things start flashing immediately.
We gotta go. We gotta watch.
And so we know exactly where you are and when to tune in. So a great example is the other day, there was someone who was approaching 2.55, and I was like,
Rich.
everyone ping me.
Yeah.
Ping me when that happens.
Yeah. That was
And so-
Rich. We were both in the channel,
Yeah.
funny enough. And I saw
Yes, we
Jesse
were.
type. And so I texted. I was like, that motherfucker just quit. He just stopped playing.
Yeah, he got to the very end and was like, all right, we'll continue tomorrow. And I was like, how dare he? How dare he do that?
Yeah.
He was at the end. It was so frustrating. I was like, how dare you? But yeah, like, and moving forward, what you're going to see is as you get into the new expansion, as you get into Heavensward, people are going to come out like crazy for that.
Totally.
And then you'll see that wave again, because there's some points where it's like, all right, well, nothing's going to happen for a while. So like I can go live my life, but I got to be back to see this moment.
Yep.
Because everyone knows where it's at. You'll start to see sort of like the matrix coding of what people consider very important moments. And you can even see that online. When you go watch on YouTube, for example, everyone's react videos to certain parts of the game. Because those are, this is one of those things where the story is an adventure that everyone shares in. And essentially, like, this is dumbing it down, but really, people are there to see if you're going to cry. Like, let's be real. That's what most of it is. Like, is this going to get Cohh? Is this the moment that gets him?
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
cry?
Yeah, it got me and
my dude.
Cohh, I cried on stream. For
What?
Oh yeah.
This game
What?
got me.
No.
This game
Oh,
got
yeah.
me.
It's the only game that's ever had it happen. Jesse was full on sobbing. Like Jesse, he was a baby sobbing.
Yeah, Shadowbringers destroyed me as a person.
Yeah. It goes
It was
places,
Oh my
Cohh.
God.
Yeah.
I did not know that was a thing. Okay, well.
Totally.
But only
Okay.
after, if you go through the whole story and you go through Heavensward and you go through Stormblood and you go through Shadowbringers, it's the fact that all of it combines together and they craft a story that is connected from like moment one to currently where the game is at. The connectors and the backstory and everyone, like, you as the Warrior of Light have a little like tiny family within the game, and so you become connected to those characters because it isn't like, say, other MMOs where there's like 85 characters and you move between them. This is like, there's like 6 or so that are with you spoilers.
Yeah. It's very
God. Which
stop.
one of them dies? Oh, Jesus.
One of the worst parts about the
God.
VODpocalypse, to take this a completely different
Swear to God, if it's Ida. I swear to God.
one of the worst things about the
The girl.
VODpocalypse is my entire Shadowbringers playthrough was lost to that on Twitch. So
Really?
sucks. Yeah, my first time playing through that is all gone and not saved or uploaded anywhere. So that sucks. But regardless, I guess my next question, Cohh, being, you streamed the entire time as Final Fantasy had expansions come out. I always talked about it in one way or the other on Drop Frames over the past couple of years. What do you know about the game moving forward? Do you know like general themes of where you're headed in terms of like locales? Do you know?
Zero.
Are you
not
pretty
paid
much
attention
completely blind?
to any of it.
Okay.
Like I purposefully that's the thing. I'm either plugged in or I'm not plugged in. I know nothing of them. I haven't even watched the intro videos. I don't know where they're going. I don't know their themes. I don't know their characters. I know absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Zero.
Well, let's talk about the story up until this point then.
Sure.
What's where do you think it's going? What do you think is going on? Where do you think you're headed?
Okay. So the first ARR 2.0,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't even remember that from when I played it, to be honest. The ending was super corny, but I liked it.
It's very anime.
What's interesting is I don't think I pieced together. I'd completely forgotten that the Coil of Bahamut was like basically that whole thing from the actual intro, which was kind of awesome. I loved Crystal Towers, and I love how the Allegan guys are doing their thing. I kind of hope that comes back, but I don't know if it's going to. But in terms of where the story's going, something is going on at this point in the game for me with Midsummer. Midsumgar?
Sure.
However you say that. The lake dude. There's something going on with that for sure. They have introduced the character that is now leading the Garleans. I'm so bad with the names.
Garleans, that's correct.
Garleans. And what's hilarious is they made him look like the most evil person. That, like, he had like gray hair, he wore a scowl, he had like World of Warcraft armor, like black, red, and blacker. Like they made him look so evil. He spits on a grave when you see him, or a coffin.
Yeah.
And all I can think of the whole time is I hope that's a good guy. Like, I really hope that's it. Like they introduced him, they framed him as like one of the worst dudes ever. And I was like, I really hope that's a good guy. I really like what they're doing with the Ascians. I think that's kind of cool, kind of an Illuminati Shadow Council kind of deal. It's going to be the Ascians are clearly trying to start something with the I want to say Ishgardians. Ishgardians. There we go. Ishgardians. Yes, I love. Oh my God, I am loving all the voice acting in the post 2.0 stuff. Not only is there more voice acting, but it is so much better directed.
Yo.
Like there's
Oh,
more
100%.
direction, there's more emotion.
They get
It
that
actually,
money.
like, oh yeah, dude. It went from people reading the lines to people voice acting the lines. It
Yep.
really did.
And now they.
And
Well,
go ahead.
I was gonna say you're coming up on them all losing their job.
Yeah,
Dude, you're right. Yeah.
oh my lord.
And they got new voice
I heard about
actors.
that.
Oh, but the new voices are so good.
They're a 10 out of 10.
It takes
yeah.
a hot sec to get used to them, especially some of the characters where you're like, oh, I remember that. Man, they're so good. The
Yeah.
new voices are great.
I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, no question. But even it's like apparently after 2.0, like the direction started, and then after Heavensward, it was direction plus talent. So it's like everything it comes together for that, from what I'm hearing. And yeah, I really can't wait to experience it. It's been great. I just let out a little cheer every time voices start talking now.
Yeah, and that'll as the game got bigger and bigger and more successful, ultimately, because of that money goes towards voice acting, right? And Shadowbringers there is a huge amount of voice acting for that, and they straight up said, I think in the last letter from the producer live, that Endwalker will have the most voice acting of any of their expansions, and a lot more story than any previous expansion as well. So
yeah,
they're definitely there.
Super, super cool.
Yeah. There is still a decent amount of reading, though, that you'll have to get used to, but it's not too bad until you start meeting some ye olde English characters and blah blah blah. Right? That's where it'll start.
Sure. Thouest thine, thou this, thou theest thy.
What if I told you that somehow gets worse?
I've been told / warned.
No spoilers, JP.
I mean, that's not spoil. It's still he gets a dictionary, I guess, is ultimately what happens, and he continues down that path. Yeah, it's a lot. What about like locale for for Heavensward specifically, being that's the expansion that you are very quickly approaching? Do you have an idea where you're headed?
Be?
Yeah, like or what you're going to be doing or anything like that?
Honestly,
we love predictions on this, and so we love to see I'd love to see what Jesse would say, and so I'm continuing that trend to see where you think you're headed.
Just take some wild guesses. We're all here to judge, so just
this is a judging moment, 100%.
Okay,
yeah.
So for the record, this is, and now here's another interesting thing that's been going on real quick before I continue.
Okay,
my real life right now is absolutely insane. Like the second I stop streaming, I'm basically like got meetings, construction, kids, family life, everything. So when I'm not streaming, I'm not thinking about the game. And when I'm playing the game, I'm only thinking about the game. To be honest, until you asked me that question, that had not even crossed my mind, JP. Like what these expansions are about or where they're going.
Can you give us like a recap really quick of the last things you've done and where you think that will head?
So the obvious thing, the thing that sticks out in front is that I know the Ishgardians are under control of the Ascians, or at least they're the Holy See over there is under control. So my initial like my vanilla assumption, hey, if this is going where I think it's going, it would be something to do with those people fighting. So that would be the first thing. Either moving to that region or dealing with that shit in now. The second guess would be that I would somehow invade another plane that would be the realm of the gods, the Aether area, which they showed earlier. And that's because like Heavensward, like maybe we have to ward somehow from that stuff getting into our realm or something. But that would of course be taking the name of it literal, which I don't know if it is. But to be honest, I have no idea. Like there's so much stuff going on in the story right now, and they kind of like flirt with some directions, and then they just kind of leave those directions to simmer. Like they kept coming back, for instance, to the fact that Minfilia's friends had been wiped off that island. And it's hilarious because like in 2.2, she can't contact them. And I was thinking, oh, cool, let's go check on them right now. And then she's just like, nah, let's go do something else. And then 2.2 is nothing about it. And then in 2.3, it's like, yo, I still can't talk to him. Then we'll go do something else. And it's and then finally, like in this one, it's like, yeah, it turns out they've been wiped out, but my friend's alive. Cool. But we're not gonna go talk to her. We're gonna do something else. And it's like, go talk to her, goddammit. Like, what happened? So I'm hoping at one point we're gonna go do that. But yeah, I really don't know. My guess would be Heavensward, if we were to take it again, literally. My guess would be we have to go somewhere to prevent something from occurring, something large, like a planar invasion or something.
Okay. See how fun this is, Jesse?
I want you to know I was all smiles the entire time.
Oh, God.
Like giant smiles.
It's under the sea, isn't it?
Under the sea, under the sea.
Right, when they said holy sea, they meant the literal ocean.
The literal ocean.
Exactly.
That's the
Yeah,
Japanese storytelling.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Right.
literal. Yeah.
Just like they call the planet the star, under the sea, SEE is actually the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
true.
wait, no. Oh, hold on. So how about let's go to the moon. It's going to be it's just we're just going to go right to heaven, and then we're going to figure out it's not there, but there's this moon there, so we're going to fight on the moon.
That'd be stupid.
That's
not gonna happen.
That's an amazing wait, no, the moon fell. That wouldn't work, would it? Shit. We wouldn't go under the earth. Well, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, but yeah, there's lots and lots of different directions it could go. So I don't know. I don't know is the short answer. And honestly, at this point, like nothing would surprise me. But I mean, it's going to be fun. I already know like whatever direction it goes is going to be fun.
There you go. Now, class wise, you started as summoner, then you you started as arcanist, then you went summoner, and now you're samurai. Is that kind of what you're sticking with?
Yeah, I went samurai, and I ended up really enjoying samurai, and then I checked out red mage because people were like, red mage is the best thing since bread was invented.
Hey, I mean,
I was like, awesome.
That's Jesse's current favorite class, and that's my rating class. So,
and I was like, let me try red mage, and I was like,
you can do what Jesse's doing. Look at him.
Samurai's better.
Look at him. He's spinning.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, red mage was cool. Like, there's no question it was cool, but I definitely prefer samurai. I like the playstyle of samurai better. But here's the thing: none of those classes are what I'm going to be. I've already picked my class.
So you mean to tell me that this art is going to have to be replaced because it's currently a samurai?
100%.
Okay.
Samurai is but a stepping stone to my actual final form.
Okay.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It means that I'm going to be a machinist. That is, dude. They summon a goddamn mech. They use guns like this. It's everything I like in a class. I haven't even played it yet, and I'm gonna be a mac and cheeses. It was the class made for me. The second I can become a machinist, I'm going to become a machinist, and just main it till the end of time.
Okay.
I'm very excited. I hope it's good. I really hope it's good because I've been really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's
super fun.
Here's the thing: all the classes in this game are fine. Right? Like there's not necessarily a bad class. There's a class that shouldn't be a class, and in my mind isn't a class, but that's
Blue
another. What was that?
You're talking about blue mage or something else?
No, that's not in the game.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Oh, are we talking about dancer? Because that is an amazing class,
dancer.
actually.
Yeah, it's an okay class. It's all right. Yeah,
What
it
up?
looks okay. It looks all right. Jesse's just got glam for everything. Have you gotten into the glamour system yet, Cohh? How do you feel about the true end game?
I have not even touched it yet. I'm leaving that for the playing around towards the end kind of thing.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Maybe next expansion, chat. Maybe that's where he's headed. You've taken part, I know, of at least the fishing. In fact, I'm sure you have a timer on your screen. Letting you know that there's 44 minutes till the next ocean fishing.
44 minutes it's 43 minutes and 47 seconds. But who's counting?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Is that I know you were doing some cooking during drop frames. Have you dipped your toes in anything else crafting wise?
I have dipped my toe in cooking because I heard it helps fishing. So that's about it.
Sure.
I will get the damn fish. Thank you, chat. But yeah, it's I not really. I do want to try a lot of them though. Like the mining looks kind of like it could be interesting. I kind of want to dabble in most of the things. I will say doing the cooking has showed me that the trade skills are far more interesting than I thought. They really did kind of turn them into pretty extensive little mini game kind of things and number balancing, and looks like it could be fun. So I may dabble at that down the road at some point.
There's definitely a not a proper is a bad word, but if you're looking to become an omni-crafter, there's definitely a like level all the jobs 1 to 20 and then take all those jobs 20 to 50 and go to a place that you don't know about yet to like level them, right? So there's proper ways to do that instead of just leveling them all by doing the norm.
Oh, cool.
So
okay,
yeah,
that's good to know.
Yeah, your chat will, I'm sure, once you get near that area, they'll let you know what exists beyond that the veil, so to speak. I'm being very careful about what I'm trying to say here because you haven't seen it yet.
I honestly don't know what you're trying to say. That's how vague you're being.
Yeah, that's how vague I'm being.
You're saying.
Yeah. I'm doing a good job then. I'm doing a good job. What about music? What's been your favorite? One of my favorite questions to ask Jesse as he was playing through was, "What's your go-to song? What's your go-to song right now? Man. Do you have a bop that you've found on the YouTubes or on Spotify and listened to after the fact?"
So many bops. I love the Titan music. I love the Garuda music. The Shiva music today was awesome. I love the music during the Ultima weapon fight.
That's probably the best
that was
one.
Great.
Yeah.
The earworm for me though is definitely just the main combat music. Like there's a few like riffs during the main combat music that I really like, that I always, even now, 50, 60, however many, 80 hours later, I'm still like, every time it comes up, I start humming it and stuff. So
what's your slash playtime right now on the character? Out of curiosity.
Play does not exist.
Slash playtime. One word.
3 days, 3 hours.
Okay.
So we're at what, 75 hours now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll probably clock in around 300, I would think, or 250, due to your extra
300 days,
300 hours total.
Oh my god! I was like,
no, not 300 days.
Yeah. 154 days and 12 hours.
That same thing happened the other day.
Crazy person.
That happened on Drop Frames the other day when I said, like, yeah, you probably got like 250 more hours, and Cohh thought I meant to get from where he's at right now to Heavensward.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, we were definitely talking about like getting close to Heavensward, and JP was like, "Yeah, I think you got about 200 hours, dude." And I was like, "I'm on 2.4. How long is 2.5?"
Yeah.
Jesus.
566 days. Oh my! The people watching right now in our room here have got some clocked playtime. Wow.
Yeah. I think I'm just shy or just crossed 100, which is, I think that's here. I'll just do it rather than guess.
I'm at 48. 48 days.
I'm at 100 days, 2 hours, 12 minutes. There you go. I was right on the money. So, yeah.
I will say when I beat the last Shadowbringers content, that's like, new content, I did a day's played and I was at like 24 something. And that's because I did everything. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of what you're looking at, truthfully.
That's probably about the same. Yeah. Cool. Your plan is to do like raids, all that stuff, like full story, everything, right? That's kind of your goal.
Pretty much. The charity goal that I've pledged to do is all the main story content. So experience all of that. On that note though, like I am, anything that adds to that experience, I'm pretty much working on or doing in some capacity. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm planning to.
You reach a point, I think, in the game where all of it starts to add to it, right? Like you start to want to explore every facet of the story they're trying to tell, and all of that stuff is kind of like it's the side spin-off show that exists on TV, right? Of some random thing that will exist at some point as like a side reference in the main story, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I don't know what that was, or oh, okay, I get what they're saying there, type of deal. So that'll definitely it will help in the long run, the more like side stuff you do, for sure.
Good to know.
and references and whatnot.
And yeah, there's I'm gonna say it in the least spoiler way possible. When you level certain jobs based on the things and people you interact with, later on they recognize you based on those past interactions. So rather than just like, oh, hello, Warrior of Light, there's like a different interaction because you've been through some shit with them.
Very
True.
cool. Yeah, I've been told numerous times like I should do the Lancer Dragoon quest line before certain expansions, like the Dark Knight quest line is super cool.
Yeah,
you know, all that kind of stuff. So I'll probably kind of do that in between other stuff as well.
Yeah, for sure. Jesse, any questions, any stuff that you have for Cohh here?
Have you been to the Gold Saucer?
I have. I spent an evening going through the Gold Saucer, did the jumping thing, avoided a giant samurai in an arena.
Amazing.
Did chocobo racing, learned the card game. Like, my lord, dude, it's so crazy cool that there's basically an amusement park in the MMO. There's like a mini Disneyland in the MMO.
Yeah, a theme park and a theme park.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is crazy.
Yeah. Do you have your eyes set on any MGP rewards now that the Make It Rain event is coming up next week?
I have thought about it a little bit. I don't really have enough for anything right now, but I need to probably start collecting. I really want to get the car.
Oh, the Final Fantasy 15 car?
Yeah, people have told me that's coming back, that it needs a lot of the saucer stuff. So
yeah, I think, what is that, 250,000 in September? So you got some time. You got a month.
Yeah, I tried to go in there.
Yeah, you have to buy it with
is it
MGP,
related to the Gold
Jesse.
Saucer?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no clue. Okay.
Yeah. Like, I try to go in there and do the
200K, sorry.
The 3 drawing every day if I can, and try to do the big winning, the big lottery thing every week too.
Yeah, so the best way, I'll turn my UI on real quick. If you go to logs and then go to challenge log and then click on Gold Saucer, those reset every single week and they're pretty easy to do. Won't take very long. You can actually like AFK some of those just to get some MGP rewards, just to like bolster your overall MGP as you play.
I had no idea this existed. That's very cool.
Yeah. All this stuff resets. So you can even, like, I would assume you're fighting with your chocobo, right? So if you want to level him to 20, you can make sure you do your, what is it? Like 100 companions with your own or 100 enemies killed with your companion out type deal. That's all in there. It's just small little mini things to kind of do every single week that you don't necessarily have to do, but they do benefit you one way or the other. There's a lot of systems in this game, which I'm sure you're starting to discover, and they only add more every single expansion. There's a billion things to unlock and do via all the different blue quests, which I'm sure you'll eventually find.
Oh yeah. That's one of the things that's definitely kept it interesting. Is just there's stuff behind every single corner that is pretty much new, or things I don't remember. I mean, hell, just the fact that I can fly around is incredibly cool to me. Like, it's made everything after 2.0 so much more enjoyable, being able to just like speed between points that I want to. Yeah. It's pretty great.
And that's very recent that was a thing, right? So to say you necessarily don't feel bogged down or anything by the story, I think a lot of that probably is because of the flying. It just makes getting around and getting to all those different stuff so much easier.
I've actually commented multiple times during the stream, like how much how appreciative I am that I can keep the pacing up. Most importantly, like you can just really just go between the cool points like quickly, which is pretty great.
Worst thing about Heavensward is you're going to be grounded again, right? So you have to, and the zones are like 2 to 3 times bigger than most zones that you've been in terms of just the size of them. That's one of the things I think you'll notice right away, but you can get there and experience on your own. I won't say anything more about that. Jesse, anything else? Now that you're kind of on the other side of the desk. I know you're just like, what are you doing over here? You point?
Well, I mean,
you're doing
like,
the cat. Okay.
Yeah, right now I have malevolence activated, full on malevolence.
Uh-huh.
As I
Were you scared? Oh, he wasn't scared.
I wasn't scared. No, I'm just having a good time. I realized you were talking about getting all of your, like, all the different currencies and stuff, and so I have to do my ring hands emote to you. Like, let's make a deal, buddy. This game has the best emote system, period.
It does have really good emotes.
It's so
Pretty good.
All of the like character
Ooh.
expressions, the look on his face is just precious. Everything about this game is amazing.
Uh-oh. Fishing Co.
Oi!
Where's your glowing fishing rod?
Oh, we're going fishing.
And I only pull my rod out for special occasions, JP.
Ah, okay. All right. Blanket question. How do you feel about Lalafels?
I think they go great with sour cream, bacon bits, chives, and a little butter.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad. I know when you created your character, it was done very quickly. Also, there's Jesse's the magician. Just ignore him for a second. Do you have plans? You get a Fantasia when you finish The Realm Reborn. Any plans on using that? You got to stick to your character. Or are you good to go with the Hume life?
I'm actually good. I like it. I like my character. I think it at this point I'm used to him. Like I feel like it's his story kind of thing, you know. And it fits the cutscenes, and he's devilishly handsome. So yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I like it.
One thing that you can really do to trigger your chat is the king of knowing ways to trigger your chat. Do the entire Shadowbringers story with a Namazu head in every cutscene.
Oh God.
It really made for a fun playthrough. Really made chat happy the entire time as well. There's a lot of different paths.
I
Can
would do that, but I don't hate my community.
You can go frog. You know, you could do do this.
Unless is there a fish head?
Hold on.
Jesus, that's horrifying.
You got this right here. You know?
Oh God.
Why do you have all these? What is that?
You know,
I hate it.
I don't have the Namazu actually anymore.
To
Now
be
that I
fair,
think about it.
if I could walk around the game in a mankini, that would be I would consider that.
I think that exists. Also,
An actual
Dodger's
mankini?
already done that in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's a Dodger move.
That's a Dodger move. Yeah, already happened. Yeah.
She was just like in the skimpiest possible thing throughout the whole game.
No, she just wears I think, does she have like the cheetah print subligar?
Yes, she's a cat boy with cheetah print underoos, and it is too much.
Yeah. And that's all. She
Oh my.
refuses to wear anything else and has refused for several years. So
That very much sounds like a Dodger thing.
it's a Dodger
It's
thing.
a Dodger thing.
It's a Dodger
Yep.
thing.
Dodger thing.
Yeah. Cohh, what about you? Any questions on your journey so far? Anything that you want to ask us for some dumb reason?
Well, to be honest, like it's funny because I try to not ask questions. I try to ask as few possible questions because I know how excited people are about this game. And the thing that I also know, especially in a game like this, is how easy it is to spoil by accident and how easy it is to spoil when you're not trying to.
Sure.
Like it's after some of the 2.0 things, I never got spoiled. And I'm very thankful to say that. And I don't even know what the expansions are coming up. So that's been awesome. But there's no question that there's been a couple times when like long-term members of the community have accidentally I could tell like accidentally said something without thinking about it, probably just trying to participate in chat or get some info. And it's like a really big deal. Like for instance, this was kind of funny. About literally 2 minutes before I got to that point, someone in chat goes, "Hey, has Cohh gotten to the Crystal Braves yet?" And I remember I read that in chat and I was like, I have no idea what that is. Like, I haven't gotten to that point. And then 2 minutes later, Alphino was like, "I'll call it the Crystal Braves." And I just looked over in chat and I was like, "Hey, can someone let that guy know I got to the Crystal Braves?" And it's just like, man, yeah. And like, for instance, I'll be in a section and someone in chat, I'll be like right at the beginning of the investigation into the ice wall in 2.4. And so, "Hey, has Cohh fought Shiva yet?" And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Man. And they're not trying to spoil. They a lot of times they're a lot of people watch streamers and they're not used to them like actually reading most of chat and stuff like that.
Sure.
So, that kind of stuff's unfortunate. So on that note, I don't have too many questions. Not because I think you guys would spoil, but just because I know that like if I show any type of interest, it could lead to problems. But
Oh, that makes
really,
sense.
like, I've really enjoyed the journey. I've been enjoying figuring things out. I've been enjoying kind of learning about all this myself. I really, everything has been kind of like, I'm not getting any gear or loot or anything, and I've kind of liked the progression that everyone else takes is the same journey I'm on. And yeah, it's really cool kind of making my way through this world.
Cool. Jesse, I'm good. I think the first episode went longer than I thought it would to begin with. So do you have any other questions on your end, Jesse? I think we're all eagerly awaiting for the 2.5/Heavensward.
I think you're doing it exactly right. I think you're taking your time and you're having fun and you're experiencing the side. I've seen a lot of people try to plow through the main story quest, but for some reason, I feel like doing all the side things adds so much more to it. So you're doing it right. Have fun. Take your time. There's no rush.
Yep.
That's the way I see it. Like, the next big game for me, I've got one-off games here and there, but the next big game for me is like Wrath of the Righteous in September. So,
yeah, I mean, there's not much.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of relaxing. I've got like other little games, like I'm going to check out RimWorld and Chernobylite and that kind of stuff, but still should be plenty of time for this, and I'm looking forward to keep going in it for sure.
Cool. Well, our plan in terms of checking in will kind of be along the lines of what we did with Jesse. Won't really bother you in the middle of an expansion or anything like that. Maybe if you're coming up on the end of it or something like that, we'll check in to have you do your old predictions and see what's going on. But we'll reach out to you and we'll be watching otherwise.
Have your people talk to my people. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. That will do it though. I know you've got a boat to catch here in 27 minutes or so.
I'm probably just going to jump on and do some ocean fishing and then call it a night here.
Cool. Well, that'll do it then. That's episode 1 of Forward and Back Again. By the way, the name will make sense in case you were at all curious why the hell this show is named this.
Wait,
didn't you just get done saying, JP?
Why does Forward and Back Again make sense? Wait, what? What?
Nothing, dude. Don't even worry about it.
It'll make sense.
Don't even stress it. It's not a problem.
Here's the thing, though.
Is it dimensional travel? Is it timey-wimey stuff? Oh, God. I'm going to lose sleep tonight.
Here's the thing. Cohh's joking, but his audience actually will get mad at me about this.
Yes.
So.
Whatever. Cyclical stuff. It's happened before. It'll happen again.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm here for it. Whatever.
There you go. All right. That's it. Thanks, everyone, for watching, as well as everyone else who joined us here from the Cohh and COTFC in the old basement. We'll let you guys know when we're doing the next one. For now, we're out of here. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time on another episode. Good luck in the fishing, by the way. I hope you get your 10K.
I really appreciate it. Have a great night. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Jesse and JP, and see you next episode.
See ya. Peace.
Oh.